Hello and welcome to another episode of Golden Heart Pirates at the Lounge. I am your Captain Waffle, and today we have Mike Farnam, aka TheVizard, on with us. How you doing today, Mike?
Doing pretty well. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad to have you here, man. I'm glad to have you here, especially after you've gone through, well, a voyage, to say the least, this past weekend, a 3-day online festival, right?
Yeah, it was definitely a journey. Months of prep. I've learned so much more than I thought I knew in regards to, all the fun tech shenanigans. Got to work with some really cool artists here locally and out of state, Washington, Oregon, people all over the East Coast. It was a lot of fun. As much work as it was totally worth it, and I'm stoked to have a Voyage Part 2 in the future.
I'm excited to see it, honestly. The visuals that you put down were absolutely prime.
Thank you.
I've seen visuals that you've thrown at shows from Thump to Crux to even a couple at my own Club Fluidity a little while back, and they have always been bar none, but I continue to see you improve on a regular basis, learning some new tricks, gaining some new files to be able to play with, and it's been really good. What got you into it? What made you want to become a visual artist?
So it was seeing Black Tiger Sex Machine the first time. I was like, all right, these visuals are completely next level, and that's something that I want to do. All my friends were getting into DJing and producing, and I wanted to tell a story through video and glitchiness.
Right.
And it was actually Oz over at Thump. He was just playing some YouTube videos and stuff, and we're all hanging out. It was when Thump was first getting going, and I asked him hey, would you be down if I started mixing some visuals, and he's like, go for it. So I really have Oz to thank a lot for letting me jump into the pond. Yeah,
and you've definitely jumped in the pond and started swimming, and you've continued to swim strong. You've gotten to do some visuals for some pretty big names so far.
That's one thing I like. As rough as quarantine has been for all of us, it has really opened the door to new opportunities for me. I've got to work with this company called Groove Cruise out of Florida, which allowed me to do some visuals for some pretty big headliners. And then through different, live streaming groups and stuff, I've met through the Twitch streaming community, just gaming. And they're like, hey, you obviously like EDM stuff. Would you be down to take part? So,
which is absolutely fantastic.
I'm just putting my fingers in all the pies. That's another thing too. Is I've learned and been able to connect to a lot of other visual artists. There aren't many here locally, but I've really been able to talk and communicate with some of the top VJs in their field through this live streaming stuff too. So that's been really neat as well.
Yeah, that's super awesome.
Yeah.
Going back to as you've been doing visuals for a while, and as you mentioned here in Boise, there are not a lot of artists who get to experience the same medium. We've got plenty of producers and DJs, and we've got artists that are painters and all sorts of different types. But if there's somebody in our audience that wanted to pursue the craft of becoming a visual DJ, being able to create their own visual mixes to go along with music or otherwise, what would be a piece of advice that you'd give them?
I'd say there's so many different avenues that you can go down. A lot of the content, a lot of people think that they need the best, highest fidelity visual packs when you first start looking at it, and it can be really daunting at times. But honestly, something that I've only recently started doing is going out and shooting my own video, and that helps a lot for content-wise. Phones are phenomenal nowadays. Just go out into nature, get some cool shots, throw some effects on there, and I'm always down to help point people some out. There's honestly so many programs. Resolume is the standard. I will say that. So I recommend picking up Resolume on a Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal. It's half price, so it's only $500 comparatively to the $1,000. But yeah, there's so much that goes into it, and I keep finding that there's more and more.
Yeah. But wait, if there's more, act now, and for only 99
But
cents,
wait.
you get.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. No, that's really good, though. And especially being able to work alongside your friends and the people that you know that are putting music down, that are creating things, and being able to create a show for them. To be able to give people something to look at other than just a guy playing music up on stage. Don't get me wrong, it's always fun to see somebody having a good-ass time, enjoying themselves, playing, dancing, and just vibing with the crowd. But to have those like visuals behind are just they're next level. Black Tiger Sex Machine was honestly one of my favorite visual shows. It was phenomenal. Either of the times they were here in Idaho, just fire.
I'd honestly say, like, as much as, you know, Big Daddy Excision has these epic visuals, I would say Black Tiger is leaps and bounds above that.
They are, honestly.
That's my personal opinion.
Just the way that they put it together, it's more story-wise than just, like, direct brain-splitting, mind-melting, amazing visuals, which are still awesome. Super awesome. But having worked with a bunch of recording artists, haven't been able to play for their shows, what's been your favorite experience so far? Or at least, like, top 3, if you can't pick.
Ugh, that's rough. I got to do artist management for Zebler and Canty Experience. They're a DJ VJ duo.
Mm-hmm.
They played over at Fatty's, and picking their mind, especially when I was just first starting to get into it, like they gave me a lot of really solid advice, and it was cool hanging out with them. And then, you know, some of the headliner stuff that we've had at Thump was a lot of fun too. I got to, you know, talk to Sullivan King and
Mm-hmm.
you know, tons of other artists. What's really been great though is outside of headliners, like working with people also in that same realm, either in the state or out of state, that are, you know, small time events but up and coming. That's where you really see the more underground art that's, you know, much more trippy. Like, people are doing some next level things. When you're doing like headliner shows, like, all right, you can do, here's our visual pack. Like,
Right.
Don't go too crazy on it with the effects or whatever. Like, just mix these visuals, but like at these, you know, smaller campouts and, you know, small time smaller type events, like, you can see people really like flexing what they got.
Right.
That's what I like the most.
And it's honestly insane. I've seen a couple of visual artists now, including yourself, and watching you guys play with like the little MIDI keyboards and just mashing buttons and turning sliders like those up on stage with the DJ. It's a unique and next level art form, honestly. It is entirely different than a lot of what people would experience as a live form of art. If you've ever seen somebody paint, you see the picture come together in whole. But when you're watching somebody as like they're naturally doing more visual arts, it's already like a pre-created image, but they're just melting it and bending it and all of the added effects and being able to seamlessly stream them together in such a way that, as you were saying, it is being able to tell a story with video, and it's not necessarily just the same video as like a cumulative movie. It's like clips that are added together to be able to tell a story, and it's honestly really wonderful to see. Something that I have no skill in at this point in life. Maybe I'll learn it someday. But it was definitely something that I enjoy seeing you do, and I'm glad that you do so. What keeps you passionate, though? What keeps you inspired to continue to travel down this path?
Honestly, with this quarantine still going on, there's a lot of new breakthroughs in technology, and people are really with the live streaming and stuff like that. People are making new versions of software or like plugins for software, and it's really cool to see these new pathways for visual artists and music come to life.
Right.
That's what really keeps me interested. I love finding like that next new thing. Something that I strive to do every time I go live or I'm part of an event is incorporating a new element to my visual mixing. Whether it's a new effect or new content, like, I like to keep it fresh while also doing that throwback style or clip that makes the cloud go, you know. So
yeah.
yeah, and then there's that flow state too. That's what it's honestly nothing like anything else I've ever experienced with in my entire life. Mixing on time and on beat with someone who is, you know, 20 to 100 feet away with you doing the music, and then you just kind of start feeling the energy that they're sending out, and then you reciprocate it and send it back in video form, and just being on beat with all that. nothing, honestly, anything like that.
Yeah, it's like a perfect moment of synergy. You know, I understand that flow state because it exists in multiple art forms.
Exactly.
And more as I continue to go along, myself being a flow artist with poi, others having their own flow with music, and those that flow with paintings or visuals, it all taps into that point of the brain where you're just naturally doing something. It's not necessarily like you have to focus all that hard. It's all of this muscle memory, all of this coordination that you've brought to yourself by the hours and hours that you put into the experience, the amount of time that you're able to just full send it and create some of the most amazing and beautiful things. It's something that you, again, get to see in dancers as well.
Yep.
As they continue to flow with their bodies and continue to, on the same point of matching the beat with the music, to be able to share that synergistic effort. It's really wonderful. But that leads me to my next question, my friend.
Yeah, what's up?
All right. If you could have a ring that gave you +1 to anything, sky's the limit here. Use your imagination. +1. What would you take?
Oh, charisma.
Charisma? +1 to charisma?
Yeah, I definitely could use a little help with that sometimes.
Well, I believe in you. You can be charismatic as fuck.
Plus.
You got this. You got this. And really all it takes is believing in yourself. And if ever you don't for a moment, and this goes for any of you watching and listening, I believe in each and every one of you to be able to do anything that you so choose, to accomplish your wildest dreams and go for any of your goals. And if for a moment you lose belief in yourself, well, hopefully you believe in me. I exist. I'm here in front of you. So if you do, believe in the me that believes in you, because I'll never stop. I won't give up. I refuse.
Thanks, Waffles.
Of course, man. Of course. But on to the next question. This is a pirate show, right? I mean, technically. It counts. It counts. We got this dope-ass pirate logo here. Solid send.
Whoa.
Right? It's not green at all. But sailing at the head of your vessel, pirate captain on the high seas, what is her name? If you could have a pirate ship, what would you name it?
Probably the Chimera.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and one of my favorite ships in that series is the Chimera from the extended universe book lore. Yeah, I definitely love and relate with the commander of that ship. So.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What would it look like, though? Would it look like the description of that ship from the book, or would you have, like, your own unique design to it?
It would probably be, I'd want it to be kind of like, from the books. So kind of like a Star Destroyer. So kind of, diamond triangle shape, and then, have some chimeras just woven through.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounds like a dope ship. Would it be a starship, though?
Oh, no.
No?
This is a pirate ship. So
Pirates can exist in space.
You know what? You're right. So
Like, it could be a starship, it could be an airship, it could be a boat.
All right, so then it'd be a hybrid.
All right.
So it's something that could sail the high seas of whatever planet we're on, and then
Right.
when the need arises and we want to hit the next one, just
Just
take
like,
off and
all
fly
right.
away.
Yeah, no, pirate starship. I'm
Yeah.
so down for this. I am so down for this.
Yeah, gotta get that.
That's
booty.
awesome. And you've also been running Crux too, right?
Yeah,
along with a couple of other friends, correct?
Yeah, it's me and some close friends. We got Player Unknown, and then some good friends, Brian Stevenson, Philip Caldwell, Robert Forbes, and Matt Hill.
All right.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic people. I can attest to that for each and every one of them.
Yeah.
And
we have so much fun, and like we're all friends, and it's just everything flows so right, and we feed into each other's passions and ideas so well, and we also keep each other humble. And like whenever we need to like check ourselves or like set realistic expectations, we're all friends. So
Yeah.
it never comes from an ill place.
And that's perfect.
And we're truly able to make something beautiful for the people performing, the people watching, and everyone.
So when all of the pandemic shenanigans are over, I know you guys just did the voyage, which was all online. Are you planning on going back to actual live shows, or are you going to keep it on the internet?
Both.
Both?
We have current plans for making some unique and mobile stages.
Okay. So do like pop-up events, stuff like that?
Exactly.
All right.
Something like we don't want to be limited to one spot. Maybe take Crux on the road for our voyage. But
That's true.
The live streams will continue to be a regular event even once everything's open. We want to kind of create an inclusive platform of music that you can go to, and then we're also going to start reaching out into podcasts and gaming and stuff like that. Big plans.
No, and I'm really excited to see all of them. And the best part about continuing to run a live stream is that as you've done so already, and I'm sure you're gaining a little bit of a following in further places than beyond just Boise, Idaho.
Exactly.
How are those people going to be able to come here? I mean, you told we were talking about it a little earlier, and you had some people come from Australia that watched your stream. How does that feel, like having a reach that goes literally across the globe?
It feels really, really fantastic, and honestly, none of that would have been possible without, you know, the people who performed and were playing. They were reaching out to their friends, and you know, their friends. You know, it was just a chain reaction. But it's
all stacking dominoes.
It's super surreal, man. Like we were just some nerds with a dream, and it's all snowballing down, and I'm so stoked for the ride.
You know what? If you can believe it, you can achieve it. Make your dreams reality. I mean, really, the only thing that's different between when we're asleep and when we're awake, we're still dreaming either way. It's just the cognitive, like, upper level function versus your subconscious mind being the crazy shenanigans that are actual dreams. You never know what's going to happen there. You never know. I don't know. It's kind of beautiful, though.
Oh, astoundingly.
So then, as far as, like, production, you have a group of, I think you listed 6 people, right? That you guys have been working with. Instead of working on an event and scale like that, to be able to do that with these 6 people, it's a lot easier, right?
Oh, having a solid team behind you is 100% like key. I would not have been able to organize all that, even with just like me and one other person. It takes a tribe, right?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And honestly, I am so glad to see you guys continue and do what you do, and I'm looking forward to the next show.
Thanks, man.
Do you guys have anything planned immediately or in the next 6 months?
Keep an eye out for something spooky this Halloween.
All right.
I'm lucky enough to live with some awesome roommates. I live with Satra and Trilonomics, Rachel Gamble and Philip Caldwell.
Amazing people.
And we have...
You just got good friends all over the place, don't you?
Yeah. And we're going to have something truly spooky for you guys.
I am very, very excited to see it. We'll have some links down in the description for you guys, so that way you can check out his page on Facebook and the rest of the internet at TheVizard. And then we'll also have some links for Crux Productions, which is where they all had launched off the Voyage, which was just this past weekend. So we'll have some links for you guys to be able to check them out. And as well, of course, if you want to support us in our golden-hearted pirate nature, check out our shop, goldenheartpirateshop.com. And always remember to like the videos and give us a subscribe. That's all the time that we have for today, Mike. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I hope all of y'all have an amazing rest of your day, too. Peace out, pirates. Waffle out.